If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. This video is going over the changes/change for the Adeptus Custodes in the June balance update released on June 4th, 2025. The good news is we didn't take any nerfs or changes to our detachments or points really. The good news for us and great news for me is that what I wanted came true. The Auric Custodians went down in points. We will take a look at the points drops, a few new lists featuring the Auric. Last, I want to take a look at some of the important points from the new chapter-approved Tournament Companion. In that Tournament Companion, we can also find a base side guide now, and that is great. The Auric went down by 5 points a model, and that is any size units from the 2, 3, 5, or 6 man unit. Each one of those Auric went down by 5 points. From 65 points to 60, something I've been wanting for a long time. 5 points a model is not a huge drop for the Adeptus Custodes, where our cheapest model, excluding Psychona units, is a Custodian Guard for 42.5 points. 5 points can make a difference in taking a unit or not taking a unit. The Custodian Guard minimum size unit is 4 for 170 points, so we're just dividing 4 by 170. That's how we get the 42.5 per model. The Auric can be taken in a unit of 2 for 125 points. That is pretty tempting for a utility unit to deep strike down, then use Golden Light to return back to reserves. The Auric and the Shield Captain in Auric have seen more play than usual from the lines of the Emperor Detachment. Depending on your list, this might have got you a few extra points to spend. The Shield Host Detachment has some tournament winning list using smaller units of Auric. Those just got a few points cheaper too. I already liked using the Auric. This will only make my list with the Auric Custodians in them just a little bit stronger. And I'm pretty sure the Steven Box bike heavy list just got even cheaper. No other changes to the points means we are just a tiny bit stronger if we had Auric in our list. There are some other factions that got changes. The Death Guard looks scary. We will see how our beloved Golden Army does in the new competitive meta. I will keep the What's Winning Now series going to follow any new GT wins. Myself, I think I will try building and tweaking a fast, bike-heavy list for my own, as well as try a fun, maybe good, maybe not, Auric Champions list to try in some of my battle reports. I do have 3 lists here I quickly threw together. We will change them as new information and game experience comes in. First, we'll start with my old Lines of the Emperor list, the Lines of War, and how this has changed. The list was Trajan Valoris as the Warlord. For the other characters, we did have an Auric Shield Captain with the Admonti Mortis enhancement with the Castellan Axe, another Auric Shield Captain with the Superior Creation enhancement. This one has a Guardian Spear, a Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike with no enhancements with a Salvo Launcher. Finally, we do have a Blade Champion, no enhancements on that Blade Champion either. For the battle line, I did have a unit of 4 Custodian Guard, 2 Spears, 1 Sword and Board, and 1 Vexilla with the Shield and Misericordia. For the other data sheets, I did have 2 units of 2 Auric with the 2 Guardian Spears, 2 units of 5 Custodian Wardens with the Guardian Spears in a Vexilla, a unit of 2 Virtus Praetors with the Salvo Launchers to join up with that Shield Captain, 2 units of 4 Witchsakers. Finally, for our ally unit, we did have Inquisitor Draxus. This list was originally 2,000 points. It did go down by 20 points. I did have 4 Auric models in this list. Each of those Auric went down by 5 points, so now I do have an extra 20 points. And what I did with that 20 points, I just put that 15-point Fierce Conqueror enhancement on my Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike, just to allow him to get some extra attacks if I am surrounded by some enemy models. Next up is a Shield Host list. This list is aimed for more competitive games. I've named this one the Need for Speed. It comes to 2,000 points. My Warlord for this list is a Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike. This one has an enhancement from Hall of Armories, giving the melee weapon +1 strength and +1 damage, bringing this Shield Captain's melee weapon up to strength 8, damage 3. For my other characters, I do have another Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike. This one has the Panoptic Specs enhancement, allowing the Shield Captain and the unit to ignore cover with their ranged weapons, a Hurricane Bolter equipped with the Shield Captain as well. My last character is a Blade Champion with the Auric Mantle enhancement. This enhancement will give that Blade Champion an extra 2 wounds. My battle line, I do have 2 units of 4 Custodian Guard, 2 Spears, a Sword and Board, and a Vexilla in those units. 1 will join the Blade Champion, 1 will just run around without any character. 2 units of 3 Auric Custodians, each of them have the 3 Guardian Spears. a big unit of 6 Venatari, 5 Venatari Lances, 1 Kinetic Destroyer with the Tarsus Buckler. That will give one of these Venatari 4 wounds, allowing him to soak up a little extra damage. Then we have another unit of 3 Venatari. All 3 have the Venatari Lances. 2 units of 2 Virtus Praetors with the Hurricane Bolters. Those will join up with the 2 Shield Captains. Finally, a unit of 4 Prosecutors to stand and hold on to my home objective. That's my Shield Host Need for Speed list. It comes to 2,000 points. The last list is my Auric Champions list. This is more of a fun, casual list, but I do want to try to make it work and at least have a little bit of threat on the tabletop. My Warlord is a Shield Captain in Alaris with the Martial Philosopher enhancement, giving him a once per game reactive move. I do have a Guardian Spear on that Shield Captain. For my other characters, I do have 2 more Alaris Shield Captains. One of them has the Veiled Blade enhancement, giving him 2 extra attacks. The other has the Blade Imperator, allowing him to do some mortal wounds on the charge. All 3 of these Shield Captains have the Guardian Spears. I also have 2 Shield Captains on Dawn Eagle Jetbike, no enhancements on these, and I do have Hurricane Bolters. No battle line, and for the other characters, I do have 2 units of 5 Alaris Custodians. All 10 of these Alaris have the Guardian Spears, and then 2 units of 4 Prosecutors. I don't have any Virtus Praetors to join up with those Shield Captains on Dawn Eagle. Those are going to run solo. Use the 4-up Feel No Pain stratagem to be annoying, hard to take out, get me some points while disrupting my opponent's points. For the allied units, I do have a Calidus Assassin. Then for some anti-tank, the big man himself, Canis Rex. That's my Auric Champions Dreadhost list. It comes to 2,000 points. I'm going to play around with this one. It does have a lot of Alaris, but we'll see how it goes. I do want to try this one out on the tabletop. Next up is the Adeptus Custodes base sizes. In the new chapter approved Tournament Companion, you can download this on the Warhammer community website. There is a section in this document that goes over every faction with the base size for every model in the faction. Now this is very handy for those who want to proxy or kit bash some models for Warhammer 40k. I will leave these up for a few seconds. Feel free to pause if needed. I will also timestamp this section and throw that down in the comments. I do want to go over a few of the things that stand out to me in this new chapter approved Tournament Companion. These rules will be used if you are using the new chapter approved mission deck. The first thing I noticed with tactical missions is at the end of each player's turn, each player using tactical missions does the following, starting with the player whose turn it is. First, if you scored 1 or more VP from a secondary mission card, discard that secondary mission card. It is achieved. Then you can discard 1 or more of your active secondary mission cards. If you do, and it is your turn, you can gain 1 CP. If your secondary mission deck runs out, you cannot generate any additional secondary missions during the battle. The thing to note here is at the end of each player's turn, each player using tactical missions does the following. That means even if it is not our turn and we have a tactical mission like sabotage, and somehow our opponent has stopped us from being able to do that sabotage, at the end of our opponent's turn, we can decide to discard that sabotage secondary. We won't gain a CP for doing this, since it does say it needs to be in your turn to gain 1 CP. This will help stop from being stuck with dead draws going into your turn. Another thing to note though is if you do run through all your secondary deck, you can't generate any more during the battle and you'll just have to run on primary and that's it. It's going to be pretty hard to run through that entire deck, but it can happen if you're throwing your cards away pretty much every player turn. Another thing that seems to clear up is actions, letting us know we cannot perform actions if we're at aircraft, battle shocked, object in control of 0, with an engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, advanced or fell back, or not eligible to shoot this phase. It also clarifies if a unit starts to perform an action until the action is completed or until the end of the turn, whatever is later, that unit is not eligible to shoot or declare a charge. Also, if a unit performing an action makes a move excluding a pylon or consolidation move or leaves the battlefield, that action is not completed. So if you have a Calidus Assassin, you do the uppy downy while you're trying to complete an action, you leave the battlefield, you will not complete that action. Also something like the World Eaters where you do a Blood Surge move after you're being shot, that will also make you stop doing an action. This clarifies if you're doing an action, you're pretty much doing that action until that action is completed. You're not going to be able to charge or shoot, you're just standing there doing that action. There are some designer's notes as well. The one I want to note is VP for destroying models or units. Some cards award VP for destroying enemy models or units. If you gain VP as described in such cards, you retain those VP even if those destroyed models or units are subsequently returned to the battlefield. Something like no prisoners, where you kill a unit and your opponent has a way to bring that unit back, you'll still get the points for killing that original unit. The chapter approved companion also has some FAQs. Instead of going through all of these, I'll leave these up on the screen. Feel free to pause it and look through these yourselves. I would like to play the tournament companion myself a little bit and then wait till we have some questions piled up before we go through some of these documents and figure out what's going on. I'll play a few games with this new deck, then I'll come back with a video answering some of the common questions that have come up for this new chapter approved mission deck. This is worth noting as well for anyone wondering if these new twist cards were going to be played in tournaments. It looks like the chapter approved missions are not using any of these twists. So it's just a primary mission, a deployment, and a layout. So we won't have any of these twists in the tournaments, which is a good thing because some of these really could change the outcome of a game. We also have the new challenger cards, where at the start of the battle round, if you have fewer VP than your opponent and the difference between that VP total is 6, you get to draw one of these challenger cards. Once again, I want to wait till there is some common questions about this mission deck before we go over the challenger cards or anything like that. Right now, I find there is quite a bit of information out there already about how these challenger cards work. I want to wait till we get some hands-on experience, then we can answer some of those most common questions about these challenger cards. Let's finish the video with some final thoughts. We covered all the changes to the Adeptus Custodes along with some of the things the June 2025 balance update has brought to the game. I am working on an Adeptus Custodes winners and losers video. Even though we only had one unit with a points change, we still do have a number of winners and losers, from either not getting points cuts or getting lucky and missing out on that nerf bat. Next, we will have a video going over the Grey Knights changes. There has been a few positive point cuts for them, with no nerfs to the Grey Knights at all. Flamestorm Friday, we take a look at multiple points changes for the Salamanders. Our characters are the same cost, but some of the generic Marines got some points buffs we will really like. Subscribe for more balance update content, battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40k content. Like always, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.